Hey, what's going on, guys? Got another knife review for you today. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the new Walmart knives that came out for Christmas this season. And first, let me specify, I do not have all of them. As you can see, I have the 2 new ones here, but they came out with 5 new ones in total, one of which was a Swiss Army knife, which I wasn't going to get on purpose. Or maybe they came out with 6. They came out with an assisted knife, which wasn't at my Walmart, so I couldn't get that. I think they have to be in the normal cases, too, like their glass cases. You guys can let me know about that in the comments. They came out with another version of this knife, which I didn't get on purpose, just because I have this in blue. This was just their aluminum knife, and it was a camo on the handle, like a camo coating, I guess, on the handle, instead of just this blue. And there was, so I guess I'll leave this out here. And there was a black and green knife. It was a black coated blade with, I guess it wasn't green G10, but it was light green G10, and it looked like I think it was an older Maxpedition knife. That's what it looked like. So those are the knives that they came out with. If I find some of the other ones, like the assisted knife, I'll get those for a review too. But right now I just have these. As far as I know, nothing had changed with this blade, except for it being camo coated. I am going to do just like an overall favorite Walmart knife video coming up sometime soon, where I'll bring back some of the older knives like this one. And so we'll just talk about that. But first, let's talk about these knives. This one isn't a new design, so I'm just going to take that out. But these are the 2 new ones. This is called something like the Stagg coating clip knife, I think. I don't remember, but this is supposed to be like antler, which it is most definitely not. This is a very fake plastic, as you can see, and especially if you feel it. Here's a problem that I've noticed that I just saw again. All I'm doing is squeezing the scales together. And if you do it right about here, sometimes it will pop back out, sometimes it won't. But it's just, I believe it's this scale mostly. But it pops just in and out, so it's not secured very well. And then up here, it's supposed to look like a Damascus, I think. Let me pull out a couple other knives while I let you guys look at this one. That, like an actual Damascus knife, and then even an acid etch knife. So here is a knife with acid etching. This one's on the blade. You can just see it's not close, really, even. And here is a knife with Damascus. This is a fixed blade. Well, I guess they're both fixed blades. But this is a blade with Damascus, and it's just not the same. This is just, I think, a painted finish. I'm sure it's something like that. Painted, maybe some sort of coating. But it doesn't look bad. It's just letting you guys know. It's definitely not an acid etching, and it's definitely not a Damascus. I'm going to put this knife up for now. I'm going to keep this Damascus blade out because this has real antler. I don't remember, I don't think this was Stagg antler, but I'll need to research that and get that back to you guys. But this is a real antler. Just you can see in the comparison. This one is easily just fake, textured, all that. And then the Damascus. But of course, this is a $4 knife. It's like $3.75 or something. But they're practically just $4 knives. Both of these, and it's ridiculous that they're able to pull off a knife like this. Honestly, for $4, because like brands like Tac Force, like what are they doing? I mean, yes, I guess some people like them for their designs and such. But this knife, to me, which I haven't started to talk about yet, is better than any Tac Force I've seen. Better than M-Tex, all that stuff. Well, let me hold that thought on M-Tex. I've seen 2 M-Tex knives that were actually not half bad as far as budget knives go. But you guys know what I mean when I say Tac Force and M-Tex knives. They're just not quality knives. Nor are these, but I have to say for $4, it's not awful. So this blade, as far as I know, is modeled after the Kaiser Dukes, which is a great knife. This looks like they have a budget series. What is it called? Vanguard. This looks like the Vanguard Dukes, where they have G10 instead of titanium. Also, I think the blade's a little shorter on the Vanguard one. But this is a 2.75-inch blade. This isn't G10, it's fake. I'm sure it's just some other type of glass-coated nylon. It feels not like G10. It looks like it. The texture isn't quite as good. But this, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but this might be my favorite knife that Ozark Trail or Walmart has come out with yet. Because it's just a cool knife. Now, I do have some problems. Of course, there's a lot of problems. This blade came, I couldn't deploy it. And it wasn't even breaking in. I just had to adjust the pivot. It took nothing just to adjust it. And it goes so much better now. The blade centering didn't change at all. The blade centering isn't spot on by any means. But it's not bad. I mean, it's fine for me. Especially for a $4 knife. The lock bar, it's a pretty uncomfortable lock bar in my opinion. These teeth, even compared to just this blade here, these teeth are a little more fine. Here, let me open this blade again. And this one, and so this one, it doesn't hurt to push against and close. I would rather it be more of a pad, if that makes any sense. I'll pull out a knife with that in a second. But these teeth just can really irritate your finger if you're just fiddling with it a lot or something. But it has a not bad action. It's not drop shut. You can shake it. Maybe if you do it a little harder, you can get it to close. But it's not a bad action for a $4 knife. As far as the ergonomics go, it's not bad. It's a smaller knife, which is okay with me. I don't have too many smaller knives, I have to say. I'm more of a, I guess, just a medium knife guy. Although I do want to get more small knives, maybe even the Dukes. Just because that's reminding me of this knife. It's not a clone by any means. Or not a counterfeit, but I could see it being inspired by the Dukes a decent amount. The jimping up here, we do have jimping on the liners and on the frame, and even on the back of the spine of the blade. And this just, it locks your finger in pretty well. The jimping is a little aggressive for my taste, especially when you're deploying it with a flipper. You can just kind of hit that jimping. It can be a little rough on you. What else? Let's talk about the flipper tab. The flipper tab, of course, the Dukes is known for an amazing flippability. Is that a thing? Flippability. It's a very good flipper. I have handled the Dukes before. I don't own one, which I should. But it just flips very well, especially the non-Vanguard one. But the Vanguard one flips just fine, too. It's just a great flipper. It has a giant flipper tab. This one has... This flipper tab isn't bad by any means. It's a little awkward because this knife isn't a light switch knife by any means. And what I mean by that is you can't light switch this. You can't just drag your finger across a motion to deploy the flipper. It's more of a push button knife, like that, but you can't really get a good push on this because the way it's angled, you just really have to kind of do a push button, but from right here instead of like right on the top. You have to push more just on this flat in general, and then you can get a good deployment. Another thing I liked about this is their sharpening choil. There is a choil here, as you can see. It's not necessarily a finger choil, but I'd count that as a sharpening choil. Also, a design feature I really like is that instead of just having a little choil, the edge actually backs away right here, which makes it so your edge is usable and it's easy to sharpen. So I just really appreciate that. On top of that, their pocket clip. This might be my favorite clip of theirs that they have compared to this type of clip, which is on a lot of their knives. This one is more minimal. It seems more sturdy too. It's a deep carry clip. There, of course, are problems with it. This is the only position you can carry it in. Tip down, right hand. Here's something that bugs me on deep carry clips especially, is when the screws are sticking out, like, a lot. If they're sticking out a little bit from the handle, it's not that bad. When they're sticking out this much, it's just taking up a lot of your clip space. And it's not too big a deal to me if it's just out some. They don't have to be completely inset. But when the G10 actually, or G10-like material, when the G10 actually raises so that the clip can mount on, so it's further out from the knife and in here, then that kind of bugs me. It's just extremely not inset in the handle, or inlaid in the handle. But once again, it works like a clip. Of course it could be better, but for a $4 knife, this is not a bad knife. I'll give them that. As far as steel goes, it's no clue what this steel is. It's not 440C. It definitely feels like it has less carbon than that. I don't know, maybe like a 420. I don't know. I'm not the biggest. I don't know that much about extremely budget steels, or just even steel in general, but this is maybe comparable to 420. No, it's not. This is its own thing. I was gonna say 420, but no, it's definitely has less carbon than that. I don't know how it does as far as chromium. I don't know if it's very stainless or not. It seems fine to me. I haven't noticed any rust on any of my Walmart knives, really. Some of them have coatings, though, that might help. This is just a nice satin. It's kind of, I guess, a high polished. As far as blade shape goes, since I just figured I'd bring that up, I do appreciate this swedge on top. It is, I guess, more of a drop point than a clip point. But I just like the swedge on it. Most of their knives have that, it seems. A nice swedge for piercing. Which, I mean, I feel like I should bring that out on a knife like this. It is a standard, basic knife. I wouldn't expect much more. But I am impressed by it for the price range. I might like it better than these other knives of theirs, which are, I'm not sure yet, because I am going to do another video on this, but these might be my 3 favorite knives of theirs, of their like $4 Ozark Trail series. I will have to get back to you guys on that, and I will do a video about it. Also, I've made 2 other ones of these videos in the past. One was when this series, when this one came out with, there was a pink version of it, and there was one other knife, or 2 other knives that came. Oh yes, there was like the green wood flipper, and there was one other knife that came out when this one did, and that was last year. And I believe it was the year before that when these knives came out. The ones with the tan flipper, they had tons of knives that came out that year. But on this video, this is the most viewed video on my channel. This one with the tan flipper, when all these knives came out. And that was one of the first videos on my channel. That was almost a year ago. Maybe even over a year now. But it's just a funny video to me. My channel was different then. It was less conversational, more thinking I knew more about knives. I'm not an expert by any means now, but it's just funny to see that video since someone recently told me to go back and rewatch that video since these new knives came out. One of the reasons I'm filming this today is, one, it's not long till my EDC comes out in a couple days, so if you're watching this the day it comes out, stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe. My EDC comes out at the last day of the month, every month. Haven't missed a month yet, but we'll see how long that goes. On top of that, if you guys are looking for more feedback, I know Frankie and Bird at the Birdshot IV channel should have a video coming out of these knives in probably a day or 2. But I'm sure they'll have a video of that soon, so if you're looking for a second opinion, go to their channel. Their channel is great. So see you guys in my next video or in my EDC. And also, if you want, check out my other Walmart knife videos. So, see you guys in my next video. Peace.